Welcome back to Z-Speed and thanks for tuning back in. Today we'll be changing out the low beam light bulbs on this 2005 to 2012 second generation Acura RL. So just stay tuned. Okay, as far as the replacement light bulb, I'm going with a stock version. Let me show you here. This is what's this say? D2S 6000K. So it's the brighter version. You can also do LED, but I'm going to stay with the stock version. I'll leave a link for this bulb below. You can see it's nicely protected in this little plastic container. So we're going to access the headlight assembly by removing the front bumper cover, but there are some shortcut methods I just want to briefly touch on. I'm not a big fan of, but removing this front wheel and then going in through the back side here under the fender liner, removing that. But there's a little metal beam that covers the back side of the headlight assembly, which I found kind of hard to get into. It's right about this area, and I just didn't like trying to get around that. Also, you can remove this battery and this airbox assembly here and get your hand in this way and go into the back of the headlight and remove the cover. Just couldn't see very well and didn't have a lot of visibility and some sharp little corners in there that you could cut yourself on. I wasn't a big fan of digging around in there that way. This side's a little bit easier because you don't have the battery or the airbox, but it's still a pretty tight working area here, and you could get cut up if you're not careful. I'm just not a big fan of, sticking my hand in there and kind of blindly going in here. So we're going to remove this whole bumper cover. It's not that bad at all. Basically, there's just some plastic clips on top up here and on the bottom as well, underneath the engine area. It's pretty simple, and then there's a few screws on the sides of each of the headlight assemblies. So it's not too bad to remove. I think this is the way the factory recommends that you do it. So we're going to stick with the factory recommendations here, and it'll make it a lot easier to get the light bulb in and out without, trying to stretch your arm or, strain your neck trying to figure out what's going on by working the shortcut methods. Okay, we're going to start off by pulling this little plastic cover off on the inside of the engine bay here. I'm going to use a very small flathead screwdriver, and I'm also going to be using one of these plastic panel removal tools. This is the metal version here because I'm not really worried about scraping this part up. You can see I'm just going to lift up the little push pin and then scoop it out with my removal tool. And you could probably get the whole thing out with a small flathead screwdriver, so whichever you have, or if you have both, you can try it this way. I think there's only like 4 or 5 pins total here. This is the second one, and this one comes out very easy. These are kind of loose. They're pretty old. This is a 2007 RL, so these little plastic push pins probably need to be replaced, and I'll leave a link below if I can find one for a bag of new ones, because you may need to replace them as you pull these out. Sometimes they'll snap or break. These are all coming out very easy, but they're just very loose and quote unquote clapped out, if you know what I'm talking about. So this thing just pops right off. Now you can see we're all done with this panel. Super easy to remove. Okay, let's take a look underneath the bumper cover and figure out what we need to remove, and it's not very much at all. 1 bolt, 1 push pin, believe it or not. Here are some Allen wrench bolts right here. This one right here. Here's another one that we do not need to remove, so we don't have to worry about these. Here's another one over here, right there. We don't have to remove that either. So that's great news. I'm not sure exactly what it's holding on, maybe part of this beat up front grill area, which has seen better days, but it's still holding up. And let me head over towards the corner here so we can look at what we do need to remove. Not this one. We don't need to remove that one. I believe that's a 10 mil, but we do need to remove this one here in the corner, and that's a 10 mil bolt, and then this push pin right here. We need to remove that. Okay, to remove this 10 mil, I'm going to use a 1/4 inch ratchet with an extension and a 10 millimeter socket, of course, and not hard at all to remove. piece of cake. Just make sure that you have like a bowl or a tray or something to put all these little bolts and push pins in so you don't lose anything, and then everything's easy to find when you're ready to reassemble. So there's that bolt out, and now I'm going to use a very small flathead screwdriver to remove this push pin. And I will definitely try to find a link for a bag of new push pins, because it's inevitable that you will destroy some of these taking them out, or they'll just literally disintegrate in your hands. It always happens to me just about every time I go under a car, especially an older one like this '07. You know, some of these things just disintegrate in your hands as you remove them. So believe it or not, that's it. That's the only thing holding the bottom on. Look at this thing. It's already loose now. So that's pretty amazing that that's all it's holding this thing on, but that's it. And we're going to move to the next spot now. Okay, next up we have a Phillips screw that's holding this fender liner to the front fascia, to the front passenger fender itself. So just one bolt or one screw holding all three of these things together here. You can see I've already kind of pulled the inner fender liner out with my hands. It was very simple to do, so you can do that on your own. And now I'm going to remove the Phillips screw, and that literally frees up the whole front fascia from everything. On the passenger side, I did the same on this side, the driver's side, and now it's completely loose. Now you have these fasteners that run alongside the headlight assembly that you'll have to kind of yank down on the fender to get them to release. And I wasn't real sure exactly how much I had to yank on these, so I was trying to be super careful here and not break any of these tabs, because literally it's mostly all tabs holding this front fascia on. That's why it's super simple to remove this front fascia versus trying to go in any other way, because there's not much holding this on. A couple bolts and some push tabs. You can see I've just yanked on the passenger side, and it totally broke loose. Super easy. It almost just fell off, but it's kind of hung up on the driver's side. Now you do not need a plastic panel removal tool, or I have a screwdriver here that I'm attempting to wedge in here, but I realized very quickly that that's not going to be needed, and I definitely didn't want to damage the front fascia by scraping it. And so you don't need this flathead screwdriver, so omit this part. I was just kind of testing it to see exactly how much force was holding this thing on, and it's not much. So I just wasn't tugging hard enough. Just give it a good tug straight down, and you should be able to break these tabs loose. I'm about to break it loose in a second, but I was trying to be gentle. There you go. Boom. Just like that. Just pull forward and down a little bit, and it came loose. Now you do have some wiring harnesses to those little fog lights down there. That's where a flathead will come in pretty handy for you to release the harness from the front fog light, and that was pretty simple. You can see the whole thing fell off now. Now we've pretty much got the front fascia completely detached, and just do the other fog light on the passenger side, and we're ready to remove this whole thing and get to the headlight assembly. Okay, now that we've got the front fascia removed, I want to show you another harness that I detached that I didn't talk about earlier. This little black one right here, and then there's the green one. The green one is the fog light, which is attached to that green one. But this is the other extra sensor over there, the gray one. But there's the fog light, and I think this is a temp sensor. Don't quote me on that. If you know what it is, let me know in the comments. I don't think it's a front impact sensor. I think that's attached to the frame itself. But on the passenger side, it's just the fog light harness. That's it. So a total of 3 harnesses. I didn't tell you that earlier. And now that this thing is out of the way, we're ready to get to the headlight assemblies. We have nothing else in our way. Okay, now we're ready to remove the headlight assembly, and there are 6, count them, 6 10mm bolts that we need to remove to get this headlight assembly out. Way more bolts holding the headlight assembly in than there was the front fascia, believe that or not. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to use a 1/4" ratchet with a 12mm extension and a 10mm socket on the end. You're going to need that 12 a little later on, because there's one that's way back in there. But right here, that's a little bit overkill. To get to this bolt, you don't quite need 12-inch extension, but you can probably get away with a 6 here. That one comes out real easy. Bing, bing, what a boom. That's done. Now we're going to move on to, there's 3 all in one spot over here on this side. And obviously on the passenger side, it's in the same location, but there's 3 10mm bolts all clustered together right here. Very simple to remove. I'm going to show myself taking this one out, and then I'll show you the other 2 locations for the bolts after they've been removed. So that came out really easy. Here they are, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Remove all 3 of those 10mm bolts, and we're good here on the side. Then we've got one right here in front. That's very easy access. I'm going to go ahead and remove that now, and that's very simple as well. That comes right out. And the last one's kind of tucked in. You got to go kind of close to the battery to get to it, but that one came out really easy. Now, before we move to that last bolt, you see that bolt we just took out? There's a little push tab right there. When you're pulling the front headlight out, you need to depress that a little bit, maybe like with a flathead screwdriver, or just push down on it with your finger and you should get it to depress, and then you can pull out the headlight. Now here's the last bolt that's tucked in behind the battery in here. Right there, that 10mm right there. So you will need extension to get in there. Just be careful not to drop that bolt down into the fender well. You might lose it down in there if you're not careful. Okay, I just pulled out that last 10mm bolt. I used a extended 10mm socket to get to that one. I did need an extension after all, so if you don't have an extension, you'll be okay. And now you can see this headlight breaks loose pretty easily. We are not going to completely pull this headlight assembly out of the car. There's quite a few harnesses attached to it. I think there's like 3, maybe 4 harnesses attached to the different bulbs. But all we really need to do is just pull it out far enough to get to the low beam headlight assembly and open up the back side of the cover, and then we can replace the bulb without really detaching all the harnesses. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but we're not going to need to. So this is the covering right here that we'll need to open up to access the low beam headlight bulb itself. So pretty easy access now that we've got this thing pulled out. Okay, to remove the dust cover, we're just going to rotate it counterclockwise. It's not a big turn at all. It should come off pretty easily here. As you can see, mine did really easy, and it's nice and clean inside there. So that means it's nice and airtight. We don't have to worry about our seal being bad. We still got a good seal. And now we have one small harness to remove right here. I'm gonna pull on it, just pull it straight out, and then we can remove the bulb. There's also 2 squeeze pins or little metal squeeze, those little loops right there you can see that you're supposed to squeeze together to remove the bulb, but mine's already loose. I don't know if the last person that was in there did that or didn't hook it up right, or if it just came loose. I'm not sure, but we'll go over that in more detail in a minute when we go to put the new bulb in. And you can see that the bulb's coming out pretty easily now. Now, at this point, I know I said that you didn't have to detach the headlight from the car, but there's 4 harnesses holding this on. They're very easy to remove, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go ahead and detach them before I reinstall the bulb so I can get a better camera angle. You can see the headlight assembly's flopping around. I don't want to scratch it up, and I'm having trouble keeping it stable while I'm manipulating the bulb here, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the headlight, but you don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm going to for filming purposes. But if it's easier for you, then go ahead and remove it like I did right now. And now we're going to talk about putting the new bulb in here. Now, to remove the old bulb before we put the new one in, just turn it counterclockwise. And if it's stuck like mine is here, just turn it clockwise and then back counterclockwise, or jiggle it a little bit and it should break loose. That's what I had to do, and mine came on out. At this point, you need to make sure you have some clean latex or vinyl gloves before you touch the new bulb and place it back into the headlight assembly. You can see I just unscrewed the top, then the bottom part comes off. Pretty simple with this little setup to get the new bulb out, but you definitely don't want to be touching the bulb with any of the oils from your hand. So be very careful. If you don't have any gloves, hopefully you can get some. Just make sure you don't touch the bulb at all with your hand. You can see it's easy to place it back in. Just turn it clockwise. It's just a little click and it's set back in there. No problem. Very easy to reinstall. All right, before we place the bulb back into the headlight assembly, bulb placement, I just want to go over that quickly. You see that white filament to the right of the bulb? That should be on the opposite side. I didn't really think about it while I was clicking it in to begin with, and then I realized right before I put it back in the headlight assembly that was on the opposite side when I pulled it out. I was looking at my film when I was editing, so you're going to see me disconnect the bulb, spin it around, and then reconnect it. That's why that filament should be on the opposite side. I'm not sure if it makes a big deal or not, but I kind of like to put things back the way I found them. Let me know if you know which position to put that in, but you're going to see me disconnect and then spin it around and reconnect here. That's why I'm doing this. It's very simple. Boom. Okay, now we're ready to place it back in to the headlight assembly. And just be careful not to damage the bulb as the main goal here when you're placing this back in. Now those two retaining clips, they're going to stay right there. Those little metal retaining clips are going to stay right there, and we're going to click those in at the very end. But basically all I did was kind of ease the bulb into the housing. It may take a little manipulation for you. I may have made it look a little easier than it was. Once you get the bulb into the headlight assembly, now we can attach those two metal retaining clips. You can see me attach that side and then this side. So now that those are metal retaining clips are in, the bulb shouldn't move around at all. I'm going to go ahead and hook this little piece of the harness back up and just touch the end of the bulb, make sure it doesn't move around, and you're good to go here. So I may have made it look easier than it was, but just work with it. It shouldn't be too bad. Okay, before you place the headlight assembly back into the car, make sure you get the dust cover and cover the bulb back up. We don't want any water getting in here, and it may take you a second to line up the dust cover correctly. I put it in wrong at first, and I had to pull it back out and readjust it. But once you get it lined up correctly, it should twist in clockwise and lock airtight again. So you can see I finally figured out how to do it. And just a slight turn, and now we're airtight. Now we can go ahead and hook the harnesses back up to the headlight, and we're all done. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, don't forget to give me a big old fat thumbs up. And until next time, you know what to do. Just keep on repairing.